hour of power. POD cast is upon your ass. Spitting on the mic is the NZ boss, and his homie DJ NZ the odds. Yeah, don't twitch, don't snitch, don't switch. Just open up your senses. And now listen to the hour of power. To the hour of power. To the hour of power. To the hour of power.
All right. Yo, what's up? It's the NZ Boss. We on the NZ Boss podcast, episode 6.2, because Juro fucked up episode 6. We got the boy DJ Bigwig, Director of Operations for Nutrition Systems Australia, and today we are blessed to have the beautiful Katrina Grant, captain of the Silver Ferns, New Zealand's national netball team, and also plays for the Central Pulse in the ANZ Championship. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, pleasure to be here, point 2. Oh, yeah, number 2. I'm keen as.
First time didn't actually record. Shano had all his Simpson cartoons on my PC, so that kind of overruled the recording.
Juro was too busy playing on his Dora the Explorer freaking laptop when we recorded episode 1, so we are back bigger, better, and brighter than ever for episode 2.
At least we know each other better now.
I know, feel the vibe, like feel like professionals, like DJs or something.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Feeling it. So, Kat, firstly, congratulations on your recent engagement to Joel Ore. Yeah, very happy to see that happen.
Me too. He's the man. He's I just like to let everyone know he's got a bit of man love with Shane, the boss man. He loves that guy. At the moment, he's on a nutrition plan to try and bulk up and look as shredded as him. But yeah, love that guy. So I'm pretty happy he put a ring on it.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked. I've surrounded myself with older individuals. So I train with Ross, who owns Evolve Fitness, who's 52, who you know and you've trained with. I've got Juro, who's somewhere in the 40s, so he reckons he looks more like in the 50s to me. Danny Pavlovich, owner of, CEO of Nutrition Systems, he's turning 50 this year. So I like to surround myself with older people to make myself feel younger. That seems to be working. But I've noticed that Joel's, a good 6 to 8 years younger than yourself. Is that the key to your success recently?
Oh, definitely. And only 5 years, but it keeps me young. Means that the training is going good. So I've had to. He loves the treats though, so he's the young one who loves a bit of Macca's and the treats. So
yeah, bro.
Yeah, for 2 days ago we decided to cut that out. At least until the wedding anyway. So we shredded for the wedding.
Yeah, we got to get him sliced and diced for the wedding, no doubt, no doubt.
He feels bad otherwise. My guns can't be bigger than his on the wedding day.
Well. You beat him up in the gym. You beat me up in the gym a couple of times. So, yeah, we'll get him Grisby for the wedding. I'll help the bro out.
Oh, hard. Yeah, he's so, pretty excited. I was telling Shane before that he's got to take all his meal prep with him to Shane's house, but Shane knows meal prep like the back of his hand, so they'll be fine.
Sorry.
If he's taking a meal prep to Shane's house, he can kiss that goodbye. He's getting up to boot sizes right now.
I'm known as a corrupter. So you can bring the meal prep containers, but there might be a few pizzas. I've got to get the bad boy donut. It might be the last hurrah before he locks in for the wedding.
Yeah, it's a good option actually. He needs a bit of a shake up. 2 days in, have a bit of a blowout, then go back full again.
Reset, reassess. Do you guys have a wedding date set yet?
We're probably potentially going to get married in November, which would be quite cool. Nice and soon.
No mucking around, eh? Lock them up.
Yeah, we got World Cup in July 2019, so I want to have my new last name on my dress by then, and with not much time in between now and then, November's our only time off, so might as well just get it done.
Get it done. Yeah, that's awesome. I have a lot of people say, like Katrina Grant, she's shredded, like her physique is phenomenal. We've noticed changes since she's been working with you and with Muscle Farm. And to Joel's credit, I've had to say a huge part of that has been since you guys have been dating, Joel seemed to keep you a lot leaner and meaner. So props to Joel there. Love you, bro.
Yeah, nothing to do with good old Muscle Farm keeping me like in check and training the heart out. It's all the boy.
So the boy. Well, the last couple of times you've come down home, he's been beaten up after trying to keep up with your training. So probably the other way around.
Yeah, poor guy's feeling a bit sick. Like the other day when I saw on your Instagram, who was it? Flawless was in the bathroom nearly throwing up from a leg session.
Yeah. Oh, poor bro. Juro's prepping him for his first bodybuilding show, actually, and he's 14 kilos down, and, his body fat has decreased. He's looking amazing, but
just for the listeners, that's Shane's hairdresser, aka the guy that covers his greys every Tuesday afternoon when no one at work can reach him.
Cuts the greys off, bro. I'm a point number 0.5 on top and a skin on the side these days. But yeah, shout out to Mr. Flawless, the Joe bro. I know that he's a huge fan of the podcast. But yeah, I like training legs. Once I see people in pain and struggling, then I start increasing the weight, the rep range, and the intensity. So yeah, I felt quite good at the end of that workout, to be fair.
Actually, I think Joel and Mr. Flawless have a bit of a bromance, just like you guys as well. What is it up with those palmy boys going to the gym and all have bromances, eh?
Oh, Joe's always trying to get in on my boyfriends. Yeah, they're pretty close now. Yeah, it was funny because I said to Joel, do you want to train while you're down here this weekend? And he was like, anything but legs, bro. Anything but legs. I couldn't walk for 3 or 4 days after the last one.
Struggle street, eh?
Yeah, he killed it. So with your training, Kat, I've trained with you in the gym. We've done some high intensity, high volume training, and then you went and ran on the treadmill for about 45 minutes at about 60 kilometers an hour. Other people ask me, I look like a little pig trotting next to like a gazelle in the African jungle, and I use that quite a lot. Give us some detail about your training. Like pretty much you train like that all the time, right?
Yeah, with netball, it's no one really knows. It's kind of, you've got to be endurance because it's a 60-minute game, but also speed because you're only working within like 20 meters at a time with my position. You also need about a jump, so there's heaps of plyometrics and power work. So, we have so much speed, doing at least 4 or 5, conditioning sessions a week, as well as speed sessions in the gym at least 3 or 4 times a week as well. So it's full on just trying to understand what type of athlete we are. So we have to kind of try and excel in every part, which is hard. It makes training tough, but I love it. It means that you're in good nick all the time. But yeah, you can't rest too much, otherwise, one of those things drops off too quickly. You got to spend a lot more time in the gym to get it back up there.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like just the way that I love watching ANZ ads and the Commonwealth ads on TV, and to see your physique on the screen. You can just the way that you look, how big and strong and how fast you are. I tell everyone it's all my work, but I think yourself and like Sarah Goss, Portia Woodman, a lot of top female athletes in New Zealand that I think have set the standard of conditioning and athleticism for men and women. So props to you for that.
I think it's changed quite a lot, I suppose, over maybe like the last 3 or 4 years, or even the last 2 years. It's really, women aren't afraid now to be in the sport industry, like to look really lean and strong, and that's what we do. We're professional athletes. We do it full time. We now just can't live off just food. Like I'm a muscle farm. I never used to take any supplements. Now, like supplements is my life. I have them with me everywhere I go, but like without that, I don't even know how I've kind of, you keep on going. You need as much help and support as you can get in nutrition as to get the best out of you when you're on the court and the training, just trying to get the physique that you need to be at the top all the time.
That's fantastic to hear, because, as you said, sports have changed so much and everyone's doing a lot of work in and out of the gym, and especially before and after game day, even team training. So you touched a bit on your position. So you're 20 metres up and down the court. For our listeners in the US, what's the difference between netball and basketball? So how big's your court end to end?
Our court's 30 metres, and it's in 3 so it's 3/3, so 10 meters each third. So certain people can go for 3/3, some people can go into only 2, some people can go into 1, depending on your position. So, our mid-quarters who can go on all 3/3 have to be really fit, and they're a little bit shorter predominantly. Where some a defender and an attacker, we can go into 2/3. We're a bit taller. So Shane, for example, would be a mid-quarter for sure because he's only a little midget. But
come up to Cat's knees.
Or ball boy.
Yeah, ball boy, that's for sure. We got no backboard on our hoop, so when our shooters shoot, they have to be on the money and swish the ball. But every shot's only worth 1 point. No 2-pointers or 3-pointers in our game. And you can't dribble the ball, and you can only hold it for 3 seconds. So it's a little bit confusing if you don't know it, but it's a lot of fun when you play it.
And how many players on the court at any given time?
So 7 on each team, so there's 14 in total, and we play 15-minute quarters, so 4 15-minute quarters for a 60-minute game.
Man, that sounds like a marathon.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Sometimes
crazy,
it feels like
man.
that.
Yeah, it's full on. You cover a big part of the court too, Kat. Like I said to Odette, I think Kat needs to play centre for the Silver Ferns, the way that you get around.
Yeah, I'm one of those hard outs. Yeah, I go Hyundai. Yeah. Sometimes I think my alter ego is my netball person. I'm totally different on and off the court, but I'm okay with that. Chilled out off the court, hard out, crazy kid on the court.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think, like the last couple of years, obviously, you've had more focus on the training and the nutrition and supplements and stuff. Do you think that that's helped you with the way that you're performing now and also longevity for your career? Like, what are your plans for the next couple of years at the top level of netball?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Over the last couple of years, definitely, like just being able to train more often and, with supplements, the way I eat, the way I train and how my intensive, how I train, I feel like now I know my body better as well. I have less injuries. I feel like I can go longer. Like I'm 30 now, where I never thought I'd go past 30 just because I felt like it was, my body was going to give up on me. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But no, I love it, and it's just, but training's got so much harder. It's become pretty much a semi-professional sport, so it's my full-time job. So I'm one of those guys. I want a day off. A day off means back in the gym for a bit of a primer and make sure your body doesn't stop.
Yeah, always on the go.
Yeah, hard.
And Kat, you've been...
I'm a bit like that. Jura has days off.
Yeah, more like I don't have days off. I'm always preparing for something, Kat, but I don't know why. It's always a prep day for me.
A prep day.
It is.
Love those days.
Hey, so let's take it back to the beginning. So you've been a Silver Fern, which is a player of the national New Zealand netball team since you were 20. Is that correct?
Mm.
And also
it's 21, yeah.
21, was it? And studying
I think I made the squad at 20, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, lots of free time in that.
At the same time, you were studying a business degree at university. How did you juggle both acts, and which one took a bigger priority in your life?
Yeah, it was tough. It was the study definitely took a backseat, but my mentality was seize to get degrees, but with training that was my main focus because you can only do it for so long. But then I always knew that you're one injury away from not being able to have, your sport anymore. So I knew I needed something to fall back on. So I always wanted to get my degree and studied, but just took it very slowly, like one paper a semester type thing. And it was always a bit of a battle. You always wanted to be at training or you're tired from training and stuff, but, had to get it done. I just finally got it done. I think it took me maybe 8 years to get there, but I finally got my degree, and now I've just been able to concentrate on just training and knowing I've got myself covered for when I retire or whenever anything potentially, touch wood, might happen. I've got all bases covered, but yeah, being able to train full time is the business, eh? Oh, I love it.
You just love training.
That's great, especially for the young people listening too, who are finding it hard to juggle 2 acts at one time, being at school and trying to do a sport. Cut your shit out and do both. If Kat can do it, you can do it.
Hard out.
Hey, Kat, in hindsight, studying and training and playing at the top level, are you glad that it took that duration of time, or would have you knuckled down and sort of got the degree finished earlier, or would have you just, kept it how you done it?
I think I would have kept it how I'd done it, because if I really knuckled down on the study, then potentially training could have suffered and I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'd like to say, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I really want people to be able to study and do something else as well as sport. But like I said, my theory was always, you only have your athletic ability for so long. You're only in your youth for so long. And you can study at any time. But if I just took it slowly and put at least 90 to 100% into my sport, then I could still achieve in that as well. So study was always that off thing. But it was also nice to have something to come home to and take myself away from sports to have the balance,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wish.
So now you've got a business degree. As soon as your netball career is over, we need to work together and do something, do a collab and fucking do something sexy, I reckon.
Oh, that's us, mate. That's us. I'll make sure I stay in good nick so we can sort that out.
Yeah, you'll be able to do it easy, I reckon.
Yeah, we'll sort that out, no worries.
What motivates you in general, physically and mentally?
For me, I love training, and for me, that helps me mentally for when I play a game. So if I know I'm in good nick, I've eaten well, I've been to the gym, I'm feeling good about how I look and physique-wise, as well as, if you train hard and you're fit and you're looking good and you're doing everything, then you know that you're going to be able to perform because you've worked as hard as you can to put the best performance out there. So for me, mentally going to a game, if I've done all the prep work and all the work like the week before, the year before, then I know that my performance should fall into place and I shouldn't have to worry about too much. So that's, for me, it's sport, anything is such a massive mental game, and I think that kind of gets swept under the carpet a bit, where I think without the mental prep and knowing that you've done the work, then performances won't always be up to scratch and how you want it to be, if that makes sense.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
well, that kind of leads into what I was going to ask. When you mentioned mental prep, as a player and then more so as a captain, 1 minute you're on a court, you're physically exhausted, you're thirsty, tired, adrenaline's kicking in, and then all of a sudden the camera's in your face and a microphone, and then you have to switch from that, to being a media person, then come off the court, you're on social media, you're on public domain. How does one prepare for that? How do you prepare for that? Is there any prep for that? And obviously there's pressures with it. So could you touch a bit on that for us, Kat?
Yeah, it is hard. It definitely took a long time for me to get used to being, dehydrated and going through a few things and then having a camera straight in your face. And if you haven't performed well, you're always going to critique yourself to the nines, how terrible you were, or when they ask how your other players in your team went, and there's no way you would throw anyone under the bus. You're a team. It's never about anybody else. But yeah, it's all about individual prep. How I always try and go into an interview with an open mindset and not, about the team and about everybody else, and definitely not throwing anyone under the bus. But it's hard, though. You can get quite emotional sometimes, no doubt about it, especially if you've played badly or if you've had a really bad loss and a hard loss, especially if you're playing for your country and, you lose a really important game. It can get pretty tough on you mentally, so you just got to try and keep it all in check. But not that long ago, I was seen crying on TV because they asked me a pretty hard question about whether I was, if I had any pride in wearing the black and white dress for New Zealand, and that kind of got me a little bit up in arms about that. So I probably let my emotions take over on that, but at least everyone understood that to me my sport is everything.
Yeah, well, it's easy as well for outsiders who aren't, in your shoes to hit under the belt. I mean, when you're in a vulnerable position in terms of, a loss or whatever, and then you get put on the spot, it's obviously going to be tough to respond to that. I mean, don't you feel like sometimes just saying, oh, okay, is that right? You and me on the call right now, girlfriend, let's do it.
Yeah, there's definitely times when you're just you look at them and be like, are you for real? really just want to say something else, or just, put your boxing gloves on or go out and, have a bit of a physical battle instead of trying to get your words out. But, we're in a privileged position where we get paid for what we do, and we represent our country, which means people want answers. People need questions answered. They want to see and hear everything, and great TV is when people are under pressure and they say things they might not, say in the pressure moments. And that's what media always try and get out of you. And sometimes you can't feed it because you're just going to be the frontline page for the next month until something else happens.
Yeah, definitely props to you
those...
and everyone else that's in that position. It's not fucking easy.
No, hell no. No, it's definitely not easy.
Yeah. Well, those, the post-interview games at the Commonwealth Games, particularly when they asked if you play with loyalty or pride, the nation got to see the real Katrina Grant, and how much desire and how much it means for you to wear that dress and the rest of the girls. So, being emotional and just being honest, the whole country felt that and supported you guys and loved you guys even more. I watched it when I got to work. My employee said, "Oh, have you seen Kat's interview?" And I said, "No." And I teared up and got emotional watching it. And then it's like, "What are you crying for, you pussy?" And I was like, "Man, these guys are fucking throwing my girl under the bus. Of course she's got pride in wearing that. She's worked her whole life to get to that stage. And this is the way you conduct yourself on and off the court. Of course you got pride. What a stupid fucking question." So, I think that you handled it the best way that you could. And we saw the real Katrina Grant,
Yeah, and, sometimes showing a bit of emotion, a bit of the, that we're actually people, and, we're not just robots, sometimes people think sports people or, anyone on TV are just robots and that's just what they do. It's good to show people that we're actually human, and, we can make mistakes, and we do get emotional. We have feelings every now and then.
I think we all think you're superhuman, like you've got to the top of your sport, and you're this perfect athlete and human being, and you just think that you're always going to prevail in the right circumstances, So, like you said, it's good to see that you're human and real just like everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
I was speaking to Lima Supuanga the other day. The Highlanders game over against the Bulls in South Africa, I don't know if you saw it, Kat, went to 80 minutes.
That's what I do.
What I do. And then he kicks a goal to win the game in overtime. And then I'm like, "Oh, Mr. Clutch, Cherbolos." And he's like, "Yeah, surely." And I was like, "Congratulations." He's like, "Fuck us, I was shitting myself, bro."
Oh, hey. Did you see him mouthing after the kick? How he's like, "That's what I do. That's what I do."
He was loving it. And you grow up and you look forward to those types of moments, like when you're on the field at school, after school, like kicking the ball around, you want to be in those sort of situations. But then he told me on the side, "Oh, bro, I was shitting myself, but he was prepared for it, and he kicked it over, and it was an awesome moment."
And you can't let anyone see that weakness, either.
Nah,
he hit that really well.
Yeah, he's a machine. I love him.
Hey, Kat, talking about public, being in the public eye, and we mentioned social media. That's another area where, like, mental toughness comes into play, and everyone, anyone that can sign on social media, kids, teenagers, even adults, cop it quite a bit in terms of bullying. But you more so, especially. I'm not specifically saying that you've been bullied, but
it's true. We get bullied.
Okay, you do get bullied, but obviously it's going to be tough for you to handle it, and if you don't switch off to some level of silence and ignorance, you're going to get mentally drained and involved without even knowing it. How do you handle that, and what would you put out to kids, especially young girls, who are always under pressure to look good, be popular and so on? What advice can you give to them from your experiences?
Yeah, social media can have so many positives, but so many negatives. Like, I'm glad when I was at high school I didn't have social media, because it's a brutal format. Like, people can just say whatever they want to whoever they want, and at times it's just unreal. And I definitely didn't cope with it very well when it first came out and when I was first captain. And some of the things people would say to me, they would really get me down, and then it would start showing my performances that I just started worrying way too much about what everybody else would think of me. So, now my philosophy is what my friends and family think of me is all that matters. Who gives a heck about what anybody else thinks? Like, what do they even matter? If your friends and family have your back and agree with everything you're doing and have your, just support you in what you're doing, then that's it, eh? That's all that matters. Nothing else.
That matters. 100%.
Yeah, hard, eh?
Yeah, and they're real
Bugger
people.
everybody else.
Yeah, friends and family are real people that you physically speak to and see, not random. I call them shadows. Shadow cowboys jumping on the keyboard and punching in something and then hiding behind their comment. I mean, yeah, as you said, that's going to play in your mind. They're not theirs. They think they're a hero. So all you heroes out there, you're not a hero.
Yeah. No, they are hard to deal with, especially when you're not prepped for it. And I can imagine some young people would have real issues with what people say to them, but you can't even read into it. You just actually have to switch them off. Don't even think about it. Even laugh at them, be like, oh, you got time to say that about me? Wow, your life, great work,
Yeah, we don't speak plateau, man. We don't see negativity. But it is a big problem. There's a couple of high profile athletes and some close friends of mine that I've spoken to recently that get really get down about some of the criticism or comments on their social media pages. I'm just like, just look through it or delete it or just go back with it. I just take the piss out of people and just go back with something funny. Like it doesn't bother me. And like you said, all that matters is your close friends and family. I get a lot of people say, man, I thought you were way taller than you are on Instagram, or your nose is bigger than it looks on Instagram.
Sorry, man, I lost it.
My family.
Wow.
I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
to be honest,
wow.
No one's ever said that.
And it's great fun to block people away. I get great satisfaction when I get to block someone. I'm like, oh yeah, that felt great.
Right.
That's
Hey,
like that's like a palm in the face. Talk to the hand.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I block Jiro every now and then. I have to block and unfollow and then refollow again if he be a bit mean on my Instagram.
Kat, Shay's the most emotional chick you'll ever meet.
Are you two okay?
I spend an hour every morning, long distance phone calls, trying to get him into motion.
Yeah, I don't even take those calls anymore. The other day he said to me, he goes, hey man, how much weight did you put on the weekend? I go, well, he goes, you put on a lot of weight, haven't you? I was like, yeah, I put on about 4 kgs in the last week. He goes, man, you look like Elvis Presley just before he died, bro. You need to fix your shit up. That's what I got to do.
You guys are so honest and happy with each other, eh?
Oh man, the guy needs a reality check from now and again. And I mean, he does it to me too, and it's actually good. You need it sometimes, because sometimes, the two of us are very competitive, and our heads get too big for our bodies.
Understandable, guys.
Yeah, jeez. Jiro, you're amazing, mate.
You're amazing, Shano. So, Katrina, you mentioned...
So I was going to say, should I leave you two to it? You're amazing.
Yeah.
No, you're amazing.
No, this is all about you, Kat. Sorry about that. We're taking the limelight away. But you mentioned the World Cup next year in July. Now, is that, apart from the league or the normal season coming up with your club, that's your big goal for the next 12 months, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like, Comm games for us didn't go to plan. So for me, that was potentially my last Comm game. So now this could potentially be my last World Cup. So we've got, just over 12 months to sort ourselves out, sort our shit out, pick ourselves up, and really start improving to get to World Cup and win that, because it's a main thing I'm missing. I've won a Comm Games gold medal, a World Youth Champs World Cup medal. Now I just need I've got a silver medal from a World Cup, but I need a gold one. I need a gold one.
Gold, man.
Yeah.
So what's the hurdles in the way? So the team needs to regather after the last comp, but what else stands in the way of winning that medal?
Yeah, we've got to get the team sort of back in a positive mindset. We've got a big review happening in the next few weeks, just over our performances, what had happened, what needs to change, who needs to come in, who needs to help out. So the next few months, probably 2 months, is going to be massive for netball. After a big loss, I think there needs to be quite a few changes, and with those changes needs to come more results. So that's going to be exciting times for us to see what happens and how we can move forward. But if each individual can just step up their training by a couple of percent and put it all out there, then even that could make a huge difference. So yeah, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get in better shape for World Cup next year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I love your positivity and your attitude towards, hey, things didn't quite go how we wanted to at Comm Games, but I'm excited about what's going to happen from, we've got this review and you're just thinking in a positive manner about it, That's how you got to be.
Yes, you definitely have to be positive about it, otherwise, there's no point in being around if you're going to be good old negative about things, eh? There's no way to live. Bugger that.
Nah. So from Comm Games, that didn't go. How are you now, like mentally? You're going into the ANZ Championship. Are you like, it's got to be exciting? Are you pumped to get back into that tournament?
Heck yeah, we had 2 weeks off after Comm Games, went to Fiji, got engaged, like we said before, had a few days in Wellington just to chill out and slowly get back into training and, have some Maccas, just really like eat what I want, drink what I want, have to have that break. And now I'm mentally and physically just like buzzing. We started back with our Pulse team on the Monday just been. And I had so much fun. It's such an awesome group. And when you enjoy yourself, it just makes everything so much easier to do, easier to get up for training, easier to want to eat well, want to do what you need to do to perform on the court and do it for your team. That's
for
the
each other.
Team sport. Yeah, definitely. Like, you can't think of yourself. You have to be all about everybody else at the time. And I'm just can't wait to hit up Palmy on the weekend.
Palmy represent. Me and Nafano will be there cheering.
Can't wait, eh? It's been a while since I've seen this crew. Man, my family, I'm missing them.
I know the kids are stoked. Like and Odette, we last year when you played in Palmy, post game, and everyone was trying to get autographs and photos and that, and you just stepped straight over the signage and come and give Georgia and Jada a big kiss and hug. That was a primo moment for the family. They were so stoked for their little rock stars.
Family for life, though, eh? Can't get rid of me now. Sorry, team.
Nah, we're locked in. We already invited ourselves to the wedding.
Oh, don't worry. It's a very small list, but you guys are near the top, that's for sure.
DJ, last time, a couple of times, Kat's come through and stayed, and we've trained together and stuff before heading back down to Wellington. I said, yeah, you can stay, girl, as long as the kids are allowed to take you to school for show and tell. So we rock through school with 6 foot. I don't know what you are, 6'2".
6'2".
Yeah.
Wow.
Jax is holding her hand like, yeah, the kids love it, eh? It's cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome that you do that, Kat. Good on you. But my next comment, if you're from New Zealand and you see me on the streets of New Zealand, please don't bash me. But I'll give you a quick story. Talking about preps for the next World Cup, I live in Australia and there's a commercial playing now on TV for Netball, the current league. And I don't know the Jamaican girl's name, but she's like 6'4", 6'5",
She's like 6'7" nearly. She's huge.
Yeah. Anyway, I was on the treadmill this morning and I had my headphones on and she came on and she just bowled someone over. It was like, boom, shoulder, and then took a shot. In it went. And, I had my headphones on, my pink trays, and I turned to my left and went, holy fuck, did you see that? And the chick next to me goes, excuse me, are you talking to me? And I said, don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
How are you going to handle someone like her? Like, what do you guys do in the court?
She's tough, like, no doubt about it. Like, we've definitely had words on the court before, me and her, just like, I think I'm more big and tough, but I'm tiny next to her, and getting in like a big battle, and she's just like, don't even start. I'm like, yes, I will. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't going to back down even though I don't seem like I'm that small, but compared to her, I'm a bit of a midget. But, you just can't back down and got to, like, back ourselves because, if you can get inside someone's head, then, that's all you need to do, especially no matter how much bigger or better or more athletic or whatever they are than you. If you get inside their head, you're always going to be better on the day. So we just try and, win the mental battle and get the ball more up court.
Does she have
The game is so physical, man. Hey.
Yeah, bruises galore.
Does she have a Jamaican accent, by the way?
Yeah, they all do. Yeah, all those girls, they're hilarious.
Jiro's got a Jamaican accent too, eh, bro?
I'd be using that to my advantage for sure. I'd have to work on my Jamaican.
You work on your Jamaican. Just a bit of semi-English.
Yeah, semi-English. I think it's called Pidgin English, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. When they talk to each other, I can't understand a word they say, but it sounds awesome, eh?
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Shane understands
Like when
that.
we had a Brazilian guest on the show last week, and she starts speaking in Brazilian, and Joe's like, "Ondere, ripa, ripa." I'm like, brother, that's Mexican, bro. That that ain't Brazilian.
Close.
Please listen to that podcast. That was Shane trying to communicate. She was like, "Excuse me, are you talking to me? What did you say?"
That was all I had.
Then that's it.
Yeah, I love the physicality of the game, and particularly New Zealand and Australia, man. You guys just go to war out there. Like,
Have to, bodies on the line, bodies on the floor.
It's just so good to watch, man. It's just so physical. Reminds me of when me and Joe used to train together, and we used to just push each other around in the gym. And we actually had a challenge one day in the aerobic room, but that's another story.
Oh, tell us, go on.
Yeah, Shane, don't start and stop.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is I won that battle, so we'll move on.
Just quietly.
Not according to witnesses and CCTV, but yeah, please continue. It's not about you, Shane.
Yeah, it's not about me. I keep getting carried away. So where you are now, Kat, people see the end result. They see that, you're the captain of the Silver Ferns and you're at the top of your game. Take us on the journey, like as a young girl playing netball, and what sort of challenges, if you had any, or what was it like going through the grades to get to where you are now?
Yeah, it was I first started playing like soccer, football when I was a kid. But my sister played netball and I thought she was awesome. Like, she's 16 months older than me. And I was like, heck, I want to be just like my sister. So I started playing netball when I was probably like 10. And I just loved it. I was one of those kids who just played every sport under the sun just because I just loved being outside, and the classroom wasn't for me at the time. And yeah, just loved it, eh? So I was a bit of a tomboy. And I was lucky enough, I went through the grades. So like under 15s when I was about 12, and went to under 17s, under 19s, under 21s. Though when I was in 2005 when I went to World Youth Cup for NZ and we won that, I was looking to try and get into my first franchise. So I play for the Pulse now, but I was from Auckland and I tried for, at the time it was called the Auckland Diamonds. But they didn't want me. So the people in Christchurch rang me up and were like, come down here. It meant at 7th form I had to pick up and leave home.
Sorry, what do you mean by didn't want you? Like, you didn't make the team?
Like I wasn't good enough. Yeah, I didn't make the team. Yeah. So I didn't make the team. I would have been 17 at the time, and they just had no room for me. Wasn't quite good enough to make that team. But I was lucky enough that Canterbury needed a defender, so I went down there.
Just a quick message to the selectors from that team: look at me now, look at me now. Counting papers. I've never returned to Auckland since I went down there. I left Auckland when I was 17 to play down in Canterbury, and then I went to Otago and started studying and played down there, and then in Chicago, and then to Wellington, and I've been in Wellington for 8 years now, and I still haven't made my way back to Auckland. Dropped me once, still got the scars. Yeah, Wellington's home for sure. Shana, do you want to put some shit on Auckland, especially all the listeners in South Auckland?
Auckland? No, not South Auckland. I love all my South Auckland whānau. Represent, baby.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm not saying nothing.
I still love my crew from Auckland, though.
Yeah. Joe's trying to set me up here, man. We got some fams from South Auckland, bro. They're big
Just
boys, man, messing with them.
It's all good. I was born in Papakura, South Auckland, so yeah, it's all good.
You?
It's from the roots, yeah.
From the hood. Did going through the grades and that, did you just excel? Were you? It just sounds like you just cruised through. You're the best player and just made all the teams. Was it quite like that?
I was when I was younger, I was a natural player, a natural athlete, because you just played every sport, so you kind of just got good at things and that. But then when I got dropped for the first time when I was 17 from that Auckland side, when things had been easy, that was like a bit of a wake up call. Going, you're not as good as you think you are. Start actually putting some effort in, because I wasn't fit. I was just naturally kind of good at things, and then that made me realise, sort it out and get to the gym and actually try a bit harder. Don't think you're good. Actually work hard so you can be good. Get a bit humble and do what you got to do, really.
Yeah,
it's how you respond to those.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that not being selected might be a good thing, and like without being an expert or, claiming I know anything about netball, the lack of success at Commonwealth might be, in hindsight, a good thing too, overall.
I'm hoping so. If we can learn from that, yeah, definitely. If we can learn from that and grow, and means we win a gold medal at World Cup, then, as long as we learn from losses and real average times, if you can learn from them, then, they're kind of worth it at the time. But if you don't, then heck, what a waste, eh?
Yeah, well, that's a mental thing where a lot of superstars, do get carried away and think, oh man, I'm this, I'm that, it's never going to happen to me. But when it does, how you react is the big thing. And as you pointed, it's a moment of reflection and what you do moving forward.
Oh, definitely. You can't dwell on the past either. Otherwise that's really going to get you down, because that Comm Games, that was the most mental, I suppose, the toughest thing I've ever been through mentally, ever. So if I let that get me down, I could have really, struggled and probably needed to go see a few people and stuff. But I'm not going to lie, I've had to ask for help in the past. Sports psychs for me are huge. Without them, I probably wouldn't have got through quite a few things in my career. Always asking for help is so underrated.
Yeah, it's good.
Even I think the last couple of years, Kat, since we've known each other, I can see that you respond to the pressure and the social media, pressure. New Zealand as a nation, we're so, what's the word? Brutal, ruthless. Like, we just love winning. You can win, Silver Ferns can win 4 or 5 games in a row and we love you, and you lose one and we turn on you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just your typical couch potato that's like, what the heck's going on?
It's true, because in Australia, when I heard the news, I was like, oh, okay, so what's the big story here? And it's like New Zealand basketball didn't make the finals, and I was like, I didn't get it. But I can totally see the love for the sport. And I was going to ask you, I know through Shane a lot of players, in the top sports in different codes, and a lot of the clubs and national teams from other countries come to New Zealand to learn about club and national level team environment and how you guys work together. There's obviously something strong in New Zealand which binds you guys on the field and makes you stronger even when times are tough. Do you feel it, and what is it?
Yeah, we definitely, we're a nation, and we're a very proud nation of that. We're small, but we succeed and we excel way beyond what we probably should for the number of people we've got. But because we just, love sport so much in this country, and to be fair, even out of sport and music and arts, everyone's excels because, we're not meant to, and we love proving people wrong, and we love to be successful, and we like to get behind each other. And in sport in New Zealand, obviously that's my expertise and what I know about, but sports share with each other. So the All Blacks would share with netball would share with football, and we don't mind helping each other out, helping with resources. So I got injured a few years ago, and my regional team, the Pulse team, didn't have anything that I could use, but the Hurricanes rang us up and were like, oh, if you need to use our equipment at our home base, feel free to come in. So for the next 6 weeks, once a week, I'd go to the Hurricanes, Rugby Hurricanes main setup, go use a few of their machines in their physio room, and improve my recovery probably by like 2 or 3 weeks. So without their help, and without all of us helping each other and using each other's resources, we probably wouldn't be as good as what we are. But because we're happy to share and we want to see each other succeed, and that we thrive off that, then that's so important to all of us.
Yeah, I think that is a massive difference between New Zealand and any other nation. Everyone else in other codes like to stay independent and keep secrets or technology to themselves, whereas here in New Zealand, everybody likes to see everybody succeed, and just a camaraderie between, netball, rugby league. It's massive. All you guys at top level are all really close friends. And
everyone gets along. That's the other thing, like, because New Zealand's so small. So, captain of the women's rugby sevens team, Sarah Goss, amazing person who has, come up and give you a hug on the side of the street. Like, we don't know each other massively well, but if I ever saw her, we got mutual respect, have a yarn, have a hug, share some Muscle Farm supplements. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a mutual respect for each other, and just really love what each other do and can have a yarn about anything. So that's the beauty of New Zealand sport. Everyone can have a yarn and get along. No matter if you've met, you just make it. You already know each other, so you just introduce yourself, and you've been friends for years, type thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, in Australia, like I don't think the codes get on that much. Like, anyone that watches Aussie Rules hates rugby league, or like rugby league hates the union, and vice versa. And especially the fans, if you talk to them, they're like, "Oh man, you support so and so." So no, it's good to hear. And you guys are on a different level. And hopefully
it's awesome.
You didn't share too many secrets to all the people listening in from other countries wanting to know your secrets.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Don't help each other out.
Well, I know a lot of people want to know the secrets or the success behind Katrina Grant's abs. If you Google Katrina Grant, that's the first thing that comes up is the rocks, man, the Grisby abs. So share some of your secrets, Kat. I need some of those abs.
Hard work, darn good supplements, good nutrition, and a bit of good genetics too, probably going hand in hand. But I just love to train and love to eat. So it's a good, I don't know,
good
happy ending. Yeah.
Good happy ending.
Is that it? Wait, I've got a pen and paper out, and I've written nothing. What hard work? What is it? Tell us.
Just 2,000 sit-ups a day? Nah, I'm kidding. Nah, I don't. None of that carry on. That's not going to help. Nah, man, just always at the gym, eh? Oh, not always at the gym. I just do what I need to do. I never miss a session. Like, that's just not me. I feel too guilty. If I miss a session, I have to make it up, like, the next day. I just can't. You know what I mean? Like, I have to do things by the book.
You're a training freak. There's
a little bit
question.
OCD.
Yeah. So, like, how many times a day? Like, give us your typical week. How many times a day do you train? Like, give us the next week's layout, just so people sort of can appreciate how hard and how often you train.
Yeah, so on Saturday we'll do a team training for an hour, so that's the day before a game. Then we've got a hard game on Sunday for an hour, and then we'll back it up with another hard game on Monday, which is unusual. We've got a double header this weekend. And then we'll have a recovery on Tuesday, which most people will probably go to the pool or whatnot, but I'll hit up the gym just to, my body the next day is in better nick than it is 48 hours after. So I'll hit up the gym, just do a few primer weights, a bit of Olympic lifting and whatnot, just loosen myself up. Then on the Wednesday, we'll do team training. And then Thursday, we'll do more weights, probably a speed session and team training with conditioning chucked in there. And then Friday will be pretty similar to that. And then we hit the weekend again where we just have a day session where we just have an hour training and then a game again on the Sunday.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
have
full
to,
on.
eh?
It's freaking full on.
Yeah,
If you put that on paper, sorry to interrupt, but it's easy to hear and go, oh yeah, she's got 2 games this week. Yeah, okay. But man, put it in your perspective. If you're working like 8 hours, an hour travel to and from work, and then you've got kids, you've got to pick up kids from school. So imagine that's Kat's life in a different field, which is sports, and her obligations with netball. Then go playing a sport later on, and then coming home, recovering, going to the gym and doing that all over again a few times a week. That's perspective for you. So it's fucking not easy, man.
Nah, it's hard, but you love it, and you can't do it forever. So you just gotta have fun, enjoy it, and like you gotta give 100% now because you don't want to retire and be like, oh, what if? You know what I mean? Like, what if I did just put in an extra session a week or something like that? Like last year, I started doing more weights as a recovery session, and I added it up, and I ended up doing maybe like 30 more weight sessions last year than I would have the year before. But 30, you add that up, that ends up being a lot of strength work, which is going to obviously improve, you over the next year. So
yeah, it's about longevity and injury prevention, obviously. But I've worked with a couple of the boys in the All Blacks, and that's been the key, helping them recover and maintain their strength or gain strength. That's going to give them, and like yourself, a couple more years at the top level. And we're all a long time retired. It's easy to be selling used cars and eating pies and drinking Diet Coke.
Used cars. Where did you get that one from?
Man, you definitely want to be, Kat, and I've said this to you. You definitely want to stay playing for the Silver Ferns as long as you can, you know what I mean? Because once it's over, it's over. And, I've had similar conversations with DJ Forbes, who, has recently retired, and even Aaron Smith a few years ago, we sort of knuckled down and said, bro, you got another good 4 to 6 years at the top level, and you can be, go down as the best halfback of all time, but you really need to improve your recovery and your conditioning so you can get that an extra couple of years. And you've done that, you're 30 now. We sort of met when you were 28. To me, you're in the best condition I've ever seen watching your career,
Yeah, I definitely am. It's when you know that, I don't know, just putting work in the past is definitely going to help you for the future. So I'm reaping the benefits now of what I was doing, 2 years ago, So it's, it definitely is the long game.
Going back just to when we talked about growing up and how you didn't make the Auckland side and this and that, were you the type of kid that was 6 foot when you were 5 years old and everyone else was half the size?
I was that guy.
You were that kid?
Yeah, I was that kid. You could see me a mile away. Even looking back at school photos, I'm smack bang right in the middle, a head above everybody else.
Taller than the teacher.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I was definitely that kid.
So I was that kid in the front row on the ground with the arms and legs folded,
That one, yeah.
The one that's too short to sit. Too short to sit on a chair.
You in the clouds, Kat, and Shayna was in the grass level.
I probably wouldn't have even noticed him. I would have walked over him or something. I would be like, I'm sorry.
Stepped on the cockroach.
I was a little kid that I remember the first couple of age grade rep teams I made. I might have been under 13s, and we played Wellington, and there was a lot of big Polynesian boys that had frickin' goatees and receding hairlines and stuff, and I was the only kid in the changing rooms that didn't have hair under my armpits, so I was that little kid going through the grades.
You still don't though, so you're all good.
Yeah. Trust me, he still doesn't have hairlines under any part.
Oh man,
too much so good.
You stepped into the minefield, man. I was just hiding there waiting for you. Come to Papa.
Know each other too well, eh?
Man, I can go way off subject.
You have been, bro. You have been, trust me. Apologising to the listeners.
Yeah. Sorry, listeners. Anyway, this is a bit weird and it's off subject, but I'm going to go of it. So we were working at a trade show at a bodybuilding competition in Australia probably 12 years ago now, and we shared a room, not the same bed though, thank God. And I brushed my teeth, went to bed, and then Juro just goes, I'm just going to go brush my teeth. And then I just hear
I'm pressing on record right now if this goes on.
I'm just going hearing this and it goes for about, I don't know, it put me to sleep. And I woke up in the morning and go, well, what are you doing in there, bro? Brushing you got an electric toothbrush? He goes, what are you talking about? I shaved my whole body. This guy was about 3 hours shaving his whole body at midnight to 3 a.m. So it's a bit weird and wacky, but it puts Juro into perspective.
That's commitment. That's commitment to the cause right there, though.
We had nowhere to go the next day. I don't know what he did it for, but he did it.
That was the period when metrosexuals were really trendy, and I thought I was one of them. But hey,
he used to wear a bum bag in those days, a fanny pack at the front. By the way,
hey, they're back now, so you can bring them back out.
Yeah, I should have kept it going. I knew eventually come back if I wore it for 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Louis Vuitton in Auckland last weekend, and I went to buy me a LV one. But for $4,500, no, they're not that cool yet, bro. It stayed there.
Oh,
4.5. Your shoes are pimp, man. Holy heck, your shopping was on point.
Yeah, those shoes are pretty fire. Those shoes only got shown to a select few, but Adi reckons I'm a bit too much of a blow ass on my shoes, so she said don't put it out there. But
nah. Only let people see them when you're walking.
Yeah, that's it.
And don't go down the wrong street; you might get rolled.
And I can't walk on the grass or in the mud or any type of dirt with those shoes on.
It cannot rain at all. That has to be a super sunny. That's summer shoes, mate.
Well, remember when you sent me those white Asics?
Oh, you dropped coffee on them?
Yeah, brand new. Kat sent me a brand new pair of Asics, and I was balling in them fresh white. And I was on the Air New Zealand. I spilt my black coffee all over my crutch and all over my white shoes. And then I had to walk around the airport with look like a mimmy in my pants, man. some of the air hostess and Stuart followed me on Instagram. And he's like, bro, you were on my plane, eh? You just spilled coffee all over yourself. I was like, yeah. So yeah, looks
Thanks.
like you made your pants, bro. Thanks, mate.
Nice.
Yeah, can't take you anywhere, eh?
Nah.
So, Kat, where can fans see you in the upcoming few weeks and so? So obviously you've got your games. Do you want to give the games a plug?
Yeah, so we've got our games this weekend in Palmerston North. I think it's Fly Palmy Arena on Sunday and Monday, which will be awesome. Shane will be there in the crowd, so got to get
I have my
there.
pom-poms.
Yeah, for sure. And then we got the week after we're at TSB Bank Arena in Wellington on the Sunday, so another game. But we've got 13 rounds of epic netball coming up over the next 13 to 14 weeks in and around New Zealand, which, get to any games are pretty awesome to watch live. TV's is good, but live is like next level.
And when's the national team get back together?
Not until August or September, I think. Not for a while, so it's a good time for us just to concentrate on club stuff and winning a premiership for our cities.
Well, if you need anyone to talk smack at that review, I mean, Shana's available, or they can always download this podcast and hear it straight.
Hear it firsthand.
No, don't. If they hear Shane or myself, you might get fired. Don't show anyone.
They might switch off straight away.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you, Kat. You're part of the Hunter Whānau family, so thanks for coming on board and everything that you do for us. And it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, team. Shano, DJ, it's mean, and massive thanks to Nutrition Systems for always having my back and Muscle Farmer. You guys are like helping me out every day, so can't thank you enough.
It's our pleasure.
Hey yo, check it, the hour power. Podcast is upon your ass. Spitting on the mic is the NZ boss and his homie DJ NZ the odds. Yeah, don't twitch, don't snitch, don't switch. Just open up your senses. And now listen to the hour power. To the hour power. To the hour power. To the hour power.